Hi everybody, it's Julie here, and well, it's Wednesday, so it's a new process video. Woo! Okay, let's get started. For this, I'm going to use an older photo. I think it is from 2012, 13 maybe. I'm not really sure. I couldn't find a date, but I think that is it anyway. So, scrapbooking older photos can be a bit challenging. But I found that if I want to tell a story, if I want to start with a story, older photo works. It could be easier because you don't have that much attachment and feel like you have to tell what happened in the photo. So that's what I'm going to use here. So I'm going to start by layering my photo on this really pretty striped paper from Maggie Holmes in the Bloom collection. And I'm going to use, you can see that leaf background paper. I'm going to use that as my background. And it's actually just a piece of white cardstock that I use my old and new vintage rose stamps to stamp off the leaves into different types of green. And I really like it. So sometimes late at night when I don't really feel like scrapbooking, I don't feel like it just seems too much. I like to just sit down and do other things like die cutting, painting, or stamping background paper. So that's what I did, and I'm really happy every time I get to use them because I think it's really easy sometimes to do all of that die cutting and stamping and but then not to use it. So I'm really happy that I started to actually use my own things. So back to the layout, I'm matting my photo like you do, I do anyway. Um, so the story here is a photo of me. We can start by that. It's a photo of me walking in the woods. My mom took it when we were out walking somewhere. And what I really want to talk about with this layout is how much I love being out and walking in the woods. Luckily for me, I live out in the woods, which actually is a problem sometimes, internet connection and uploading videos, for example. But I love being out walking, especially with my dogs. I really like that. So I want to talk about that. So here you can see I'm starting pulling out some embellishments. The Good Times is a printable from Felicity Jane Tuesday kit. Is a frame there from the craft market by Create Paper. The leaves are, oh, I love these leaves. I die cut them from watercolor paper, painted sort of grey-black, and then put down some gold foiled washi tape and die cut, and I just love how that turned out. The doily is also a die cut from Magnolia, and here I'm taking out a piece of paper from the Shine collection by Maggie Holmes and going to mat that on the left side of the photo. And I really like that. Is like my favorite paper from the Shine collection. I really like it. I have used it so much. Really should get another piece. So here I'm cutting the doily. Usually when I like doilies, I like them to be really light and airy, but this one is bigger, obviously, and cut from a heavier paper. It's not quite as delicate, but I really like that sometimes too. It's a nice contrast from all those really dainty doilies to use this a bit more heavy, and also like it because it's cut from the white cardstock that I use on every background, or sort of, and it's sort of nice to get that white on white effect, and if you don't glue it all the way down, you get it to pop up a bit and you get just a shadow effect on the background, and I really like that. So here I decide that the green is really pretty, but it's a bit too much just around the photo, and I want to journal on this, so I decide to matte it just a little bit with gesso. And I don't think it's too obvious that I've been trying to pull it back, but it just gives that really nice effect, I think anyway. So using my heat tool, because whoever has time for it to dry, nope. So I'm going to stick my photo down. And here you can see the bow is same paper there. I'm not sure I'm going to use that really, so I'm going to put that to the side. The tag is cut from cardstock that has a wood grain pattern, so I really like that, and it sort of brings that element of nature back in. I wasn't sure if I'm going to use my leaves here because I have the leaves in the background, but because these leaves are not green, they're black gray with gold, I sort of think it works. And um, everything is very light, and in the photo I have a sort of relatively dark background behind me because I'm walking in the woods, and I sort of like how the gray black leaves sort of pulls out that too. So just putting some twine on my tag, and we're going to glue that with some multi-matte medium from Ranger. Really need a new bottle of that. I'm going to put down my leaves. I love these leaves. I just want to say that a lot of times because I really do. And of course I saved the offcut or the negative space because obviously I'm going to use that for layout too. Yeah, that's the way it is. Um, so here I'm really thinking about my title. Should I use the good time, because I tend to have a really good time, but then I'm thinking my other option is to use out and about. I think that would be a really cute title too. So I decide to use that. And here I pull out my Black Fitzgerald. And as you can see, I have really loved these letters, and they are just about I can spell out. And then I'm like, okay, so I'm going to go with a black title. I think that would be best, and I think it would really pop. So I decided to go with a black for the about word too. And here I found these bow bunny stickers. These are the tuxedo, and it comes in a 12 by 12 sheet with white, grey and black letters. I just cut them out, the white, grey and black. And here I also took ampersand in gold. I added my journaling, and I'm going to stamp the date of when I wrote it with my Schmel roller date stamp, and then I'm just going to stamp 2012 because I decided that is the date I'm going to use anyway. I cut out 3 little birds from the paper from Maggie Holmes in the Bloom collection that I used the purple plus signs as a layer element before. Going to add that dotted bow because it's really cute, and I'm going to add my birds sort of looking into the picture. And I'm also talking about that in my journaling, that I really like being out and about and hear the birds singing and the leaves and the trees, and I think that just ties it in very nicely. So here I decide it's just I really want a border around my page. Also it feels a bit like I need something to start it up. So I'm going to bring out some craft cardstock, and I'm going to cut off like a centimeter around the page, and then I'm going to glue it, and I'm going to sew it off camera. And that is it! I'm really happy with this page. I like how it looks, and I like that it tells a story about me and what I really like. I hope you have enjoyed this process video and that you will check back soon.